My best friend kicked me out of her wedding for being too fat, so I sent her a $2,450 invoice. I was standing in front of a three-way mirror in a claustrophobic alteration shop, sweating through a layer of Spanx that felt like it was rearranging my internal organs, when my phone buzzed against the velvet ottoman. It was Friday, February 6th. The wedding, the event of the century, as my best friend Jessica liked to call it, was exactly 7 days away. I was holding my breath, waiting for the seamstress to pin the mauve chiffon fabric that cost more than my car payment, praying the zipper would clear my ribcage. The phone buzzed again. A FaceTime request. Jessica, bride. I grabbed the phone, forcing a smile onto my face despite the fact that I hadn't eaten a carb in 3 weeks. Hey, Jess. I'm at the tailor right now. The dress is tight, but we're making it work. I think if I just don't exhale until next Saturday, we're golden. Jessica didn't smile back. Her face filled the screen, pixelated and pale, her eyes narrowed in a way that usually meant a vendor had messed up the floral arrangements or the napkins were the wrong shade of ivory. But she wasn't looking at a centerpiece. She was looking at me. We need to talk, she said. Her voice wasn't high-pitched with stress, it was low. It was flat. It was the voice of a judge delivering a sentence. Okay, I said, signaling the seamstress to stop pinning for a second. What's wrong? Did the venue cancel? No, Jessica sighed, inspecting her nails on camera. It's about the photos. I was looking at the shots from the bachelorette weekend in Nashville. The ones we got back from the photographer yesterday. My stomach dropped. I remembered Nashville. I remembered paying for the Airbnb. I remembered holding her hair back while she puked tequila into a toilet bowl I had just scrubbed. Yeah. They looked fun, I said cautiously. They looked unbalanced, she corrected me. Look, Sarah, I'm going to be honest because I love you. You promised me 3 months ago you'd drop the weight. You said you'd hit the gym. You said you'd fit the sample size. I felt the heat rising in my neck, a prickly, suffocating sensation that started at my collarbone and crawled up behind my ears. I stood there in my underwear and a half-pin dress, exposed in every sense of the word. I tried, Jess, I whispered. I lost 8 pounds. But my thyroid. I don't care about your thyroid, she snapped, cutting me off. I care about my wedding album. These photos are forever, Sarah. And right now? You ruined the aesthetic. You look heavy. Next to the other girls, you stand out. And not in a good way. The seamstress, an older woman with a mouth full of pins, looked up at me with pity in her eyes. I wanted to die. So what are you saying? I asked, my voice trembling. I'm saying you're out, Jessica said. She didn't even blink. You can still come as a guest, obviously. But I can't have you in the bridal party. I can't have you in the professional photos. It's distracting. I have to protect my vision. You're kicking me out? I choked out. A week before the wedding? After everything I did? Don't make this about you, she huffed. This is my day. If you were a real friend, you'd understand. You'd want me to look perfect. Just take the dress off. You won't need it. Return it or something. She hung up. The screen went black. I stood there, staring at my own reflection. I saw the red flush of humiliation creeping up my chest. I saw the tears welling in my eyes. But then, something shifted. The sadness didn't overflow. It calcified. It hardened into a cold, jagged rock in the center of my chest. Take it off, I told the seamstress. Honey, are you okay? She mumbled around the pins. Take it off. I stepped out of the dress. I put on my jeans. I walked out to my car, sat in the driver's seat, and didn't turn the key. I didn't cry. I didn't call my mom. I opened the banking app on my phone. I scrolled back 6 months. July 14th, deposit for Nashville Airbnb, $1,200. August 2nd, custom, team bride, sashes and decor, $350. September 10th, bridal shower catering, deposit, $500. January 15th, makeup artist deposit, non-refundable, $150. February 1st, the dress, $250. I did the mental math. It was staggering. I had drained my savings for her vision. I had eaten ramen for a month so she could have a champagne tower. Protect your vision? I whispered to the dashboard. Okay, Jessica. Let's protect my bank account. I drove home. I didn't speed. I drove with the steady, terrifying calm of a person who has absolutely nothing left to lose. I walked into my apartment, ignored the pile of wedding favors I was supposed to assemble that night, and opened my laptop. I opened Microsoft Excel. I cracked my knuckles. The screen glowed white, a blank canvas for my revenge. I started typing. Invoice number 001. To Jessica Miller, the bride. From Sarah Jenkins, the ex-bridesmaid. Date, February 6, 2026. Subject, reimbursement for voided contract. I went line by line. I didn't estimate. I pulled up every single bank statement, every Venmo transaction, every email receipt. Item 1, Nashville Bachelorette Accommodation, The Loft. I had paid for the entire booking because Jessica's credit card was maxed out from the florist. She promised to pay me back from the other girls' contributions. She never did. The other girls paid her. She kept the cash. Amount, $1,200. Item 2, custom decor and party favors. The sashes. The cups with her face on them. The penis straws she had to have. Amount, $350. Item 3, bridal shower food and beverage. I made the deposits. I bought the champagne. I bought the artisan cupcakes because she said grocery store cake was tacky. Amount, $500. Item 4, bridesmaid dress and alterations. Since I was no longer a bridesmaid, this was a useless asset purchased under false pretenses. Amount, $400, including the rush fee I just paid. Total due, $2,450. I saved it as a PDF. It looked official. It looked cold. It looked like the end of a 10-year friendship. I opened my email. I attached the file. Body, Jessica, per our conversation earlier, I accept your decision to remove me from the wedding party due to aesthetic incompatibility. However, my financial contributions to this event were predicated on my participation. Since you have terminated that agreement, I require full reimbursement for the expenses incurred on your behalf. The total is $2,450. Please remit payment via Venmo or Zelle by 5 p.m. today. Failure to do so will result in further action. I hit send. Then I waited. It took exactly 12 minutes. My phone started buzzing. It vibrated across the coffee table like an angry hornet. Jessica calling. I declined it. Jessica calling. I declined it again. Then the text came. Jessica, are you insane? You sent me an invoice? We are friends. You can't bill me for being a friend. I typed back calmly. We aren't friends, Jessica. Friends don't fire friends for gaining 5 pounds. We are business partners in the business of getting you married. And you just fired me. I want my severance. Jessica, I don't have $2,400. The wedding is next week. I'm broke. Every cent is tied up in the venue. That sounds like a you problem. You should have thought about your budget before you decided my body type was a liability. Jessica, you are ruining my week. You are being so selfish. I can't believe you're doing this over money. I'm doing it over respect. You have until 5 p.m. I put the phone down. My heart was pounding, but it wasn't fear. It was adrenaline. It was the rush of finally standing up to the bully who had been wearing the mask of a best friend for a decade. 3 p.m. rolled around. No payment. Instead, I got a text from Mike, the groom. Mike is a nice guy. He's a passive guy. He's the kind of guy who nods and says, "Yes, dear," because he's terrified of conflict. Mike, "Hey Sarah. Jess is freaking out. She's crying. She says you're trying to extort us. Can we talk about this after the honeymoon?" I liked Mike. But Mike was marrying the enemy. He was collateral damage. Me, "Hi Mike. I'm sorry she's upset. But she stole $2,450 from me. She took the money for the Airbnb from the other girls and kept it. I paid for the house. That's theft, Mike. I'm not waiting until after the honeymoon. I need the money today." "Mike, she kept the Airbnb money? She told me she paid you back weeks ago." Me, "Check the bank statements, Mike. Ask her." Radio silence for 45 minutes. I imagined the conversation happening in their apartment. I imagined Mike looking at the budget spreadsheet, realizing that his blushing bride was skimming off the top of her own bachelorette party to fund her aesthetic. 4:30 p.m. 30 minutes left. My phone rang again. It was Jessica's mom, Linda. "Sarah," Linda's voice was icy. "I just heard what you're doing. This is petty. This is beneath you." "Linda," I said, cutting her off. "Did Jessica tell you why I'm not in the wedding anymore?" "She said you stepped down because of the stress," Linda lied smoothly. Or maybe she believed it. "She said you were overwhelmed." "She kicked me out because I didn't lose 10 pounds, I said. She told me I ruined the photos. She told me I was too fat to stand next to her." Silence on the line. Linda knew I had struggled with body image since high school. She knew how deep that cut went. That's not nice," Linda stammered. "But still. You can't sue a bride a week before her wedding." "I haven't sued her yet, Linda," I said. "But the deadline is in 20 minutes. And if I don't get paid, I'm not just suing. I'm going to small claims court on Monday morning. I'm going to file an emergency motion. And I'm going to hire a process server." "A process server?" "Yes," I said, my voice dropping to a whisper. "And I'm going to instruct him to serve her the papers at the rehearsal dinner. Or maybe at the altar. It's a public place, right? Imagine the photos, Linda. The aesthetic." "You wouldn't," Linda gasped. "Try me." I hung up. I checked the clock. 4:50 p.m. I opened the Venmo app. I stared at the screen. 10 minutes. I started drafting the text to my lawyer cousin, getting ready to ask for the favor. I wasn't bluffing. I would have walked into that church myself and handed her the subpoena if I had to. I would have pinned it to her dress. 4:55 p.m. My phone dinged. A notification from Venmo. "Mike sent you $2,450. Note, sorry." I let out a breath I felt like I had been holding since noon. My shoulders slumped. The tension drained out of me, leaving me exhausted and empty. Then, a text from Jessica. "Jessica, you got your money. I hope it was worth it. Don't bother coming to the wedding as a guest. You are dead to me. Delete my number." I looked at the text. I looked at the balance in my account. I typed one last reply. "Me, I already spent the money on a vacation. Solo trip. Somewhere with good food where nobody cares about my waistline. Have a great wedding. Try not to blink in the photos." I blocked her. I blocked Mike. I blocked Linda. I blocked the other bridesmaids who had started blowing up my phone calling me a traitor. I sat in my apartment. It was quiet. The silence was heavy, but it was peaceful. I had lost my best friend. I had lost the social circle I had known for years. But I had my dignity. And I had $2,450. I spent the weekend returning the favors I hadn't assembled. I returned the shoes. I returned the jewelry. And then, I booked a flight. Not to the wedding. To Italy. I leave tomorrow. I'm going to eat pasta. I'm going to drink wine. And I'm going to take 1,000 photos of myself, looking exactly the way I look, and I'm going to post every single one of them. I heard through the grapevine that Jessica is scrambling. She's trying to find a replacement bridesmaid who fits the dress. She's stressed. She's fighting with Mike about the Airbnb theft accusation. The aesthetic is ruined. Not because of me. But because when you peel back the filter, ugly is just ugly, no matter how thin you are. So, tell me. Am I the monster for threatening to serve my best friend a lawsuit on her wedding day, or did she just get the bill for her own vanity?
If you have made it this far and want to see more videos like this, then kindly subscribe and turn on notifications so you may never miss another story like this.